No theme. We've got no theme this month other than enjoying yoga and appreciation. So I hope you enjoy this month's classes and yeah, can just soak up each technique and have fun together. Okay, so for today's class you will need blocks and a belt, definitely. So please make sure you have those on hand. And sit comfortably and just allow all the parts of your legs and hips that are in contact with the ground to really drop heavy into the earth beneath you. And close your eyes. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Just take a moment here to check in, and if there's anything on your mind, just witnessing it, taking a few breaths to process it, and then we're going to push all of our to-dos, things, happenings, external stuff to the side for the next 90 minutes so that we can have a little space throughout our practice. And if you feel that you do need a little more time to process mentally, continue just sorting through whatever it is. And for anyone else who's just ready to chill, you can just start relaxing your legs, relaxing into your body, tuning into your surroundings as the silent witness. Just making small observations without getting too drawn into the external happenings around you. And take a deep breath in. Inhaling from the base of your spine all the way up to the crown of your head. Exhale, maintain that lift as you soften your shoulders down away from your ears and soften into your jaw and your face. And continue to observe your breath, inhaling and exhaling. And then begin to inhale for the count of 4. And exhale for the count of 4. Breathing in your own time, inhaling for 4. Exhaling for 4. Now we're going to add to that inhalation and exhalation for 4 some retention on the end of the inhalation and exhalation. So we'll begin by inhaling for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 4, hold for 2. Inhale for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 4, hold for 2. Inhaling for 4. Hold for 3. Exhale for 4. Hold for 3. Inhale for 4. Hold for 3. Exhale for 4. Hold for 3. Now inhale for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4. Inhale for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. And hold for 4. The same again one last time. Inhale for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4. And returning to your regular breathing pattern, take 2 deep breaths. Just noticing if that's brought more steadiness to your breath and to your mind. And from here, moving into some Goranga breathing. Emptying out your lungs completely. Take a deep inhale. And say the sound. Goranga. Inhale. Goranga. Inhale. Goranga. Goranga. One last time. Goranga. Return to regular breathing, allowing the mantra to wash over your mind and heart. And slowly open your eyes and make some circles with your wrists. And back in the opposite direction. And coming over onto your knees. Sitting in thunderbolt position with your hips on your heels. Taking your left hand to the floor, reaching the right arm up and over. Moving into some dynamic side stretches, moving with your breath. The more you bend into that lower elbow, the more capacity you have to reach over. And one more time each way. Excellent. Come back to center and now grab 1 or 2 blocks. And from that thunderbolt position, stacking your blocks on top of one another and interlock your hands, setting your elbows to the tops of your blocks. Walk your knees back just enough until you can slowly and carefully drop down into your chest. And once you've found a comfortable position, just allowing the pose to be somewhat passive, where you're able to drop down into your chest. Staying here for a few more breaths. And slowly release. Press yourself up. Remove your blocks to the side. And lower one forearm down to the floor, and we'll just take it to the side of our shoulders a little. So moving through the upper arm, the armpit and shoulder area. Reaching back into your sitting bones as you drop down into that arm that's resting on the floor. And change sides. Bringing your left forearm down to the floor and then dropping down into your armpit, reaching back into your sitting bones. And slowly press up. Coming up onto all fours with your shoulders stacked above your wrists and your hips stacked above your knees. Inhale, raise your right arm up. And exhale, take your arm down and through, dropping your shoulder to the floor, coming into thread the needle. Inhale to float the left arm up. Exhale, hand to your sacrum or wrapping your hand in front of your right thigh. Take the top shoulder back. Keep breathing. And see if you can work into those little nuanced sensations in this pose where you relax your head and shoulder to the floor, but reach back into your sitting bones and press that top shoulder back. And if you'd like to take a little leg stretch, you can extend that left leg out to the side, pressing the sole of your foot down. Keep pressing back into the sitting bones. And breathe. And when you're ready, return your leg back to center, hand back to the floor, slowly unravel. Come back onto all fours, take a cat-cow stretch. And change sides. Come back to neutral spine, inhale, raise the left arm up, nice big reach. Then exhale, take that arm down and through. And settling into the pose with that shoulder softening to the floor as you inhale the right arm up and exhale. Hand to the sacrum or in front of the left thigh. Peel the top shoulder back. Then reach back into your sitting bones and really press the top shoulder back. Further still, extending the leg out to the side. I don't quite fit. The wall is there. If I look awkward, that's why. Nice deep breath here. And slowly unravel. Press yourself back up. Whew. And stretch it out. Inhale, looking forward. And walk your hands forward, lower your belly to the floor. Chest and belly to the floor, lengthen out into your legs. Hands are underneath your shoulders and press your elbows in to your ribs. Starting with your forehead on the floor, we'll go through a series of cobra warm-ups. So for about 5 breaths, lifting and lowering with your breath, going up just a little higher each time. Moving in your own breath rate, inhaling up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe visualizing the breath flowing up and down your spine as you move. Then inhale, coming all the way up into cobra. So resituating yourself so that you feel nice and comfortable and steady in the pose. And elbows working in. Lift out of your lower back, making the pose nice and active, taking your gaze up and broaden through the collarbones. 2 more breaths here. And exhaling. Raise the hips. coming up into a modified downward dog. We're going to take our time to warm up into downward dog here. So just taking as much time as you need to check your hands, check the placement of your feet, feel into your chest and shoulders, and do all those lovely, juicy, exaggerated type stretches, whatever tickles your fancy. Maybe even expressing that drawing of your belly in toward your thighs, lifting your hips. And playing with lifting and lowering your heels. Kind of like a getting out of bed stretch mood, but downward dog version. So just getting into all the nooks and crannies. And then taking a couple of breaths in downward dog. When you're ready to settle into the pose, finding your way there and then holding for 3 breaths. Scooping up and in through your belly, tilt your pelvis forward and lengthen your heels down. Then inhaling, raise your right leg up. Roll your hips on top of one another and lower your heel down toward your glute. And start to press down into that heel that is on the floor. Maybe taking your foot back a little just to play with stretching into your hip. And then inhale, straighten out through the leg. Exhale, roll the hips back to center, lower the foot down. And inhale the left leg up. Open the hips up. Exhaling, heel down toward the butt. And just playing with your hip there, taking the foot back. Inhale, straighten out through your leg, roll your hips back to center, finding yourself in downward dog again. And inhale, bending through your knees and jump through. We're actually going to jump through to sitting now. So jumping through to sitting and reaching for your belt. We're warming up to practice standing big toe pose. So I'm a little bit older now, and I find I need to warm everything up before I do full expressions of poses. So we're going to do the supine version with the belt first, so that when we go into the standing variation, it feels a little bit more accessible because everything will be nice and primed. So taking the middle of your belt around the sole of your right foot, left foot is on the floor. One side of the belt in each hand, and then just start drawing your leg in and exhale, release. And just moving with your breath. And just enjoying a nice stretch too, taking time out for yourself. Nothing else to do and nowhere else to be, just enjoying the experience. And now on this breath, holding it in, and if you can, extending that leg out. So because we're preparing to go into the standing pose, it is nice to kind of train this leg extended position because it's going to simulate the upright position. So drawing that foot in, if you can, see if you can reach for your toes. Oh, mama. And exhale. Bring your foot back to center and we'll take it out to the side. I am going to raise my foot up just because the wall is there. And my hips, as we know, are quite open anyway, so it's a nice, enjoyable challenge for me. Taking your foot out to the side, either holding the belt or holding your foot. And keep pressing that supporting leg heel away and keeping that leg nice and active. Relaxing into this stretch as much as possible. And slowly bring your leg back up to center. Drawing your leg in one more time, holding for a few more breaths. And exhale. Slowly release. Take a little breath here. Enjoy that flow of energy through your hip and leg. Cool rush in your foot. Then place the right foot on the floor and take the belt around the sole of your left foot, shooting it up into the air, perpendicular to the floor. And again, just moving with your breath, doing whatever feels right for you, whether you're moving, holding on the inhalation or the exhalation. I think both can feel good. One more time, and then holding that leg in. If you like, you can try and hold for the toes and straighten that leg. Bring your leg back to center, taking a hold of your belt in the left hand and lowering your leg out and over to the left. I'm going to hold it high just because I want to even it out to the other side now. Keep your right leg nice and active. Firm your thigh, press your heel away, flex your toes back toward you. And also remember to keep your shoulders down away from your ears. One more nice deep breath. Now navel drawing in, inhale, bring your leg back to center. Drawing it in just one more time, holding it in. Good. And slowly release. All right. Place your belt at the top of your mat because that's where we're going to need it next. Hug your knees into your chest. And do some little rocks from side to side, maybe some knee circles. Warming up into our hip joints and back in the opposite direction. Excellent. All right, from here we're going to rock ourselves up to sit. And stand all the way up. Roll all the way up to standing. Okay, going through 3 sun salutation cycles now. Bring your hands to prayer position. And standing in mountain. Get nice and centered before we begin. And when you're ready, inhale, reaching your arms up. Exhale, folding forward, bending through the knees if you like. Inhale, flat back, fingertips to the floor or hands to your shins. Exhale, hands to the floor, jump or step back. Elbows in as you lower down. Inhale. Upward dog. Exhale, lifting back into downward dog, holding for 3 breaths. Inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale, step your foot forward, back knee to the floor, flatten your back foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands either side of your foot, step back, lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Inhale. Exhale. Step back, lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. Look between your hands and jump or step your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, jump or step back. And lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. Hold for 3 breaths. Inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step back, lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Step back, lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. Look between your hands, jump or step your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. One last round, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Jump back, lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale, step it through. Inhale. Exhale. Lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale. Inhale. Left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands come down. Step back into plank. Lower down. Inhale up. Exhale, downward dog. Look between your hands. Jump or step your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Arms by your side, palms forward. Take a nice deep breath here. Okay, and reaching for our belt. All right, so you guys can stay facing on the end of your mat. From here, we're going to go into standing big toe pose. If you're familiar with this pose, go ahead and just find your way into it. And use the belt or don't use the belt, that is completely up to you. You guys know I'm a fan of props. Even if you can do something, sometimes it's nice to have the support. So just notice how you're feeling emotionally today and choose what might feel best for you. So taking the middle of the belt around the sole of your foot like we have been, and then raise your knee up and press your foot out. So you're going to need a little bit more strength and engagement through your arms because the leg is going to be suspended in the air. Raise the leg up, shoulders down away from your ears, and really firmly pressing that supporting foot into the floor as you raise the leg up. You might be able to go one hand, holding this position. And we're actually going to take the leg out to the side all in one hit. Raise the leg over to the side. Extending the left arm out to the side, stretching out into your fingertips to create a little bit of balance and symmetry in the pose. You still got to hug your hips in toward each other. And take the leg back. Raise it up a little higher, and then lower down. Shake out that supporting leg. Now, standing on the right leg, take your belt around the sole of the left foot. Raise your knee up, taking hold of the belt, and extend your foot out. And create that nice suspension between drawing back on the belt, hugging the top of your thigh into your hip. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your hips, press the heel away. Shoulders firmly down away from your ears. Maybe holding the belt on one side, other hand to your hip. And when you're ready, out to the side. So fixing your gaze at a point in front of you, and then extend the right arm out to the side. Hold, one more breath. And slowly draw the leg back in, raise it up. Whoa. Oops, getting a bit wild here. And slowly release. Okay, belt down to the side. Still keep it handy at the front of your mat. Shake out both of your legs. If you felt like perhaps you could have tried without the belt, just as an option for the variation, I think it's fun to explore our limits, as we've been talking about the past few weeks, adding in a bit more challenging poses and things like that. So I would recommend just trying it without the belt, purely for the sake of, whoa, it's exhilarating. It gives you a little snapshot of your body's limits. And then it's something that the more you apply it, the more you can work towards making progress, just because it's fun, no, not because it's necessary. So if you like, either going the same again with the belt, otherwise no belt, standing on one leg, and hug your knee in, reaching for your foot. So modifying first by bending that supporting leg. And then hook your first two fingers around your big toes, left hand to the right hip, then inhale. Keep the knee bent for a modified version, otherwise straighten the leg. And press the heel away, keep pressing. Toes back toward you, hold, hold, hold. And if you can, taking the leg out to the side. Cool, I'm just gonna prop it up on the wall here. Take the leg out to the side. And raise it up a little, extending the arm out. That's it. So you can hold the back of a chair as well, if you like, and then bringing that leg back around to center. And slowly release. Hoa, hoya. All right, shake out both legs. Let's do the other side. Right foot on the floor. Inhale, raise the left leg up. First two fingers around the toe of the big, around the toe of the big foot, around the big toe, and then extending the leg out. Soft bend in that supporting leg for a modified version. Right hand to your hip, shoulder down away from your ear, raise the leg up. Staying with your breath. And fixing your gaze as you take your leg out to the side. And slowly bring it back to center. Hold there for one full breath. And release. Yes. Relax. Shake out your legs. Shake your, I can feel that in my glutes. And then come to step to the front of your mat. All right, that was a nice strengthening pose. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, fold, jump or step back. And lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. Holding here for 3 breaths, settling in. The downward dog isn't meant to be an easy pose, but once you get a feel for it, it's a pose where we can kind of get that coming home feeling where It does allow us to cultivate steadiness in our mind and body. All right, inhale, raise the right leg up. Exhale, step your foot forward. Inhale, come up into high lunge. Straightening through that back leg, lengthening into your back heel, dropping down into the front thigh. Raise your arms up. Holding here for 5 breaths total. Navel drawing in and lifting through your spine. And the transition now is hands to heart center, and carefully lower your back knee to the floor, keeping your back toes tucked under. Dropping down into a lunge position. Inhale your arms up. Beautiful. A couple more breaths here. Exhale. Now, if you are starting to feel it under your knee, you might like to take a cushion or roll your mat over under your knee. Place your right hand to the floor and reach back for your left foot, drawing that left foot in toward your hip. And then just propping yourself up on your front leg and drawing that leg in. We are getting ready for dancer's pose. So we've been warming up our spine, we've warmed up our hips. We're just warming up a little bit through this extension of the hip as well. Release the foot down, step back, and lower down. Inhaling up, exhale. Inhale the left leg up, exhale, step your foot forward, high lunge. Lengthen down into that back heel, straighten through the back leg. Inhale, shoulders above the hips. Drop into the front thigh, raise the arms up. And settle in for 5 breaths. Exhale, hands to heart center. Carefully lower the back knee down, keeping the back toes tucked under. Soften into your hips, inhale. And exhaling. Adjusting yourself, maybe a cushion or a mat under your knee, and bending through that back knee, bringing your heel in toward your hip. And propping yourself up on your front thigh as you draw that foot in. Slowly release. And hands to the floor, step back, lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, lift back into downward dog. Take a deep breath. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, step it through. Shifting your weight forward, fingertips staying on the floor, and inhale as you raise that leg up, coming into standing split pose. So wherever your leg lands, doesn't matter. Just begin to draw your upper body in toward your leg. Exhale, release. Either step straight back into downward dog or flow to the other side. Exhale. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step your foot forward. Shift your weight forward And float the leg up. And bring your upper body in. Slowly release. Inhale up. Exhale. Knees to the floor. Come back and rest in child's pose. Slowly roll up. Okay, so the last sort of dynamic pose we're going to do before dancer's pose is to just work into our spine a little bit so that it helps, and opening up through the front of our hips here as well, which is going to help us feel a little bit more ready and primed for going to dancer pose. So coming up onto all fours, lifting up into downward dog, and we're going to transition between downward dog and stretching dog. So inhaling, bringing your shoulders forward, lower your hips down, and knees stay up off the floor, look up. Exhale, lift through the belly, lift the hips, downward dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, riding the breath. Exhale. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Excellent. Looking between your hands, jump your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, grab your belt again. And make a little loop with your belt. So you're just going to make a little lasso, like so that we can hook our foot into it and take our belt over the shoulder like a little backpack. Okay, so once you've got your belt, get nice and grounded on your left foot, and your foundation really comes from squeezing through the hips, keeping this leg nice and firm, and really becoming aware of your center of gravity. So it's not just floating the leg up in the air. You've really got to think about stabilizing this whole supporting structure, particularly your hips as well. And the more you can draw in through this supporting hip, the less likely you're going to drop out to the side, which is what creates a little instability with that supporting leg. So even a good secret too is to actually start with your leg a little bit bent. So if you start with your leg a little bit bent, it actually activates more of the muscles, whereas sometimes when we lock out through the knee, then you're just hanging into your joints, and you can do that without actually activating your leg. So a little bit of a bend, and then raise your right leg, right foot, and take hold of your belt and take it over your shoulder, just like you're putting a school bag on. And just get used to this feeling first. So with dancer pose, we're going to raise the back leg up, and there's a lot going on. So it takes a bit of flexibility through the front of the hips here, takes a lot of flexibility through the spine, openness through the chest and shoulders, and doing all of that while we're balancing on one leg. So really just take it nice and slow. It's better to build in your awareness and technique and practice over time to then gradually moving into the pose with a little more flexibility and depth. So just moving with awareness, slowly raising that leg up. You can do one hand holding the belt, or you can do a double hold like king dancer style to raise your leg up. My legs are a little bit stubborn, so I need the strength of 2 arms to lift it. The other version is just taking a modified version, taking it over your shoulder like so. And you can kind of just fold forward, extend the left arm out. So have a little play with the pose. There isn't really, in my opinion, too hardcore of a way to do it right or wrong, because you've really got to explore your flexibility, you're exploring your balance. Some parts of your body might be very open, and other parts might be not so open, like open hips, but challenging shoulders. So you'll have to find your own way that feels like it allows you to express into the pose in a way that feels good for you. And when you're ready, coming down from one side and changing over to the other side. So same again, just taking the loop around the left foot, getting nice and steady on this right leg. Squeeze your glutes together, navel drawing in, feeling your foot active, maybe a little soft bend through the knee. Taking your arm over, or belt over the shoulder as you raise your leg up, or arms overhead, flex your foot. Raise your leg up. And exhale. I'm going to keep playing on this side just a little more. Not fall out and give up. I'm going to try again. It actually does feel for me a lot more free in my chest and hips if I softly bend through that supporting leg. Exhale. Woo. Okay, now let's do like we did with big toe. Let's pop the belts down and have a little go with no prop, holding onto your foot. And it might feel far enough just to hold your foot like so, or even like so. Wherever you're at, just taking some time to go there, exploring your body's capacity and limitations. My funny little quirk with this pose is that my hips can easily roll out. So to keep the pelvis balanced and that right hip, that upper hip working down is very challenging. It just wants to pop. Playing on the other side now. Oops. And exhale. And see, that is just such a different experience too than with the belt, and being able to have that overhead experience and feeling like really suspended as well with the support of the belt versus, okay, I'm really relying on myself here and experiencing the limitations of not having that support and balancing being a little bit challenging. Okay, belts down, and from here, we're going to flow down into child's pose. And get ready to go down into seated postures. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, folding forward. Take a little bit of time folding forward as a counter pose. Maybe bending your knees, hanging forward. Taking your spine in the opposite direction. And inhale. Lift up, exhale. Stepping back into plank, lower down, inhaling up. Exhale, knees to the floor, hips to your heels for 10 breaths. And just letting your whole spine curve and relax. Relax through your chest and shoulders. And feeling your belly gently expand and contract against your thighs. And slowly roll up. Take your legs out in front. Using the belt if you'd like to. I'm going to start with my knees bent as a modification, folding over your thighs, reaching for your feet. Curling your head in toward your shins. And slowly starting to straighten out through your legs. Maybe holding your feet or shins. I'm going to go first 2 fingers around the big toes, lift and lengthen, and scoop up and in through the belly, and fold forward. Staying here for 5 breaths, firming your thighs. Slowly come up. Bend the right knee, plant the right foot on the floor. Hug it in, and then take that leg over to the outside of your left thigh and turn to look over your right shoulder, planting your hand down and placing your hand on your thigh or taking your elbow to the outside of your knee. Open up through your palm, keeping that supporting leg nice and activated. Slowly release. Change sides. Straighten out the right leg. Bring the left foot in, hugging that leg in nice and close. And keep it in nice and close as you take your foot to the outside of your thigh. Hand to the knee, turning to look over your shoulder, or elbow to the outside. Open up through your palm. Lift and rotate. Slowly release. Straighten out both legs. Now take the right foot over the left leg again. And this time we're going to go into an open twist. So instead of going across body, taking the hand to the inside of the ankle and turning to look over the left shoulder. And you can play into it a little bit. So it doesn't have to be just upright and rotating. It can be leaning back a little. You can feel into areas in between your shoulders, your lower back, your neck. And let's do the same for the other side. Straighten out through the right leg, taking the left foot across and going into an open twist. Expanding open and embellishing any little twisting motions, whatever feels good. And one last breath. And come back to center. Straighten out both legs, lift and lengthen, and fold forward in a relaxed manner now. So turn your palms up. Just hang forward, lengthen through the spine. Good. And come up. Okay, so we've been having lots of fun with challenging poses tonight. So we're just going to do one more fun little challenge sequence. grab your block. I'll do it with all of the props that we've been using. So we're going to go into dolphin pose, but let's do it with all the props with the intention for setting ourselves up for forearm stand. So I know we practiced that a couple of weeks ago, but the more we practice it, the more we get familiar with it, have fun with it, strengthen into it. So I want to take your loop that you had around your foot and make sure that it's shoulder width apart. So that's just a little bit wide for me. I'm going to make it a bit smaller. So typically you can go like this, make the loop and take it across your chest like that, and then looping it in so that the buckle's in the middle and not digging in. And then from there you make little L's with your hands, place it around the block, forearms to the floor, and then you've got a really nice strong base. So everything's locked in and you don't have to worry about trying to keep your forearms working together and pressing, you know, into the floor to create that stability. So all you need to do is press down into your forearms, press down into your hands, tuck your toes under, and inhale. Lift up into a downward dog-like position, starting with your knees bent. First, really try to focus on that lift through your shoulders, so not collapsing down. Press the floor away, lift, and then if you can, start to straighten out through your legs. And further still, to intensify the pose, you just walk, 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 walk it in. Yeah, that's too far for me. Walk it in until you reach your edge. I'm just going to do a little playing just to see, bending the knees, lifting the hips. And exhale. Rest for a moment. Okay. So from here, we're going to go into dolphin with 3 legs, 3 fins. All right, get ready. Actually feels almost harder with the binding of the belt. Not harder, but it feels like, yeah, it's really activating my shoulder. So inhale, press up, lift up. Nice and comfortable and steady in the pose. And inhale, raise the right leg up. Press the floor away. Keep lifting. Lift through the belly. Exhale. Raise the left leg up. Soften down into that supporting foot. Exhale. Knees to the floor, rest. So before you go up into a challenging pose like forearm stand, you want to make sure that you're not feeling too fatigued in your shoulders so that you don't risk injury. So it's different for everyone and it's different on different days, but if you're already feeling a little bit fatigued through your shoulders and you don't feel like you can go fully inverted, please don't push yourself to do so. If you would like to go upside down, you can perhaps use your wall. I'll just demonstrate with the wall. Or if you have a couch close by, you could even just do 1 foot on the couch with 1 leg up in the air to get a little bit more height. See if I can fit in the video. So same again, sitting yourself up, lifting up, walk your feet up, and then you can play with 1 leg at a time. And make sure you squeeze your legs, and then doing little hops. Okay, I'm gonna go with no props. It's throwing me a little bit. Okay, so just play as you like, play as you feel comfortable. Even from that 3-legged dog position, 3-legged forearm position, you can do some little hops as well. So taking 1 leg up, lift and lower, and lower. And then even trying to go and come down. So don't have to hold it for the whole time. Deep breath. Okay, I'm gonna have a go. Hopefully I don't topple onto my harmonium. It's a lot of pressing away and lifting and drawing in through your belly and squeezing your legs together, so all of your insides of your legs are really like squeezing and drawing in and reaching into your toes. Let's do one more repetition. And when you're ready, come down and rest. Rest your shoulders. Coming into child's pose. Slowly roll up. Take your hands forward and lift yourself up into a standing forward fold. Walking your hands back. Take your feet hip distance apart and hang your upper body forward, holding your elbows. Let your head hang heavy. Swaying your upper body from side to side. Excellent. One more breath here. And then walk your hands forward, knees to the floor, and come down to lay on your back. Yes. Okay, hug your knees into your chest. Make some small circles with your knees. And back in the opposite direction. Come back to center. Place your left foot on the floor and your right ankle on top of your left thigh, going into a supine pigeon stretch. And taking your hands interlocked behind your leg, and using your right elbow to just gently press your right knee away. And keep drawing your legs in toward your body until you feel a stretch through the right hip. Excellent. Lower your right foot to the left foot to the floor, right leg over the left, and lower your knees over to the left, and then extend your right arm out to the right, turning to look toward the right fingertips. And slowly return back to center, navel drawing in, raise your legs. Right foot to the floor, left ankle to the top of your thigh, and interlock your hands behind your leg, drawing your legs in toward your upper body, pressing the knee away. And release. Right foot to the floor, left leg crisscrossed over, and lower your knees down. Extend your left arm out to the side, turning to gaze just beyond your fingertips. Letting your legs be heavy. One more breath. Slowly return to center. Hug your knees in and take any last stretches that your body is craving, and then make yourself comfortable lying on your back. Cover yourself up if you're in a cold climate, and wherever you are climate-wise, see if you can find something to cover your face to block out the light for the next 15 minutes as we rest in Shavasana, going through a guided relaxation. Getting yourself situated. And as you lay on your back, just noticing how your mind and body feel after your practice. Hopefully you're feeling invigorated, but also simultaneously calm and grounded in your mind and on an energetic level. And then just feeling all the parts of your body that are in contact with the floor getting heavier and heavier. And all the parts of your body through the whole front of your body, feeling as if it's floating upwards into the sky above you. Now taking your awareness all the way down to the soles of your feet. Relax from your big toes to your little toes. Relax the soles of your feet. And feel your heels getting heavier and heavier. Relax your ankles. And feel your shins to be heavy. Soften into your calf muscles. And relax your knees. Relax your thighs, your inner thighs and outer thighs, the tops of your thighs and your hamstrings. Relax your left hip and your right hip. And soften into your pelvis. Feel the sides of your torso melting down toward the floor. Soften into your belly. From your lower abdomen, up and around your belly button, right up to your diaphragm. Just circulating the breath in a clockwise direction around your abdominal region, bringing fresh prana and oxygen and other vital nutrients to all of these internal organs in this really important area of our body. And moving that circulation of your breath and your awareness of your breath up into the chest region, So cycling the breath and your awareness through your lungs and around your heart center. And then relaxing into regular breathing, bringing your awareness to your ribs. Relax your ribs and all the muscles in between each rib. Feel your collarbones broadening and softening. Relax your shoulders and release any tension you might be unconsciously storing in your shoulder blades. Relax your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms, your wrists and hands. Moving your awareness to your lower back area. Feel your sacrum broadening and relaxing. Relax your lower back, your middle back, your upper back, and your neck. Feel all the muscles either side of your spine relaxing and softening. Visualizing all of the discs in between your vertebra plumped up with fresh synovial fluid. Just allowing your breath and your awareness to flow up and down your spinal column for about 5 breaths. Just inhaling from the base of the spine all the way up to the crown of your head. Exhaling from the crown of your head all the way down to the base of your spine. Allowing this flow of your breath and all the techniques that we've just practiced help to recalibrate your energy into a more mode of goodness state, flowing more of the breath up and down the sushumna, your spinal, in alignment with your spinal column. Bringing the mind into a much more calm and peaceful state where it's more easily able to take on the qualities of Atman, you, the spirit soul. And relax into your head, relax into your face. Soften your jaw. And feel your entire body to be heavy and relaxed. Taking some time here to relax completely. Completely aware, but completely relaxed. Now staying where you are and meditating on some wisdom from the Bhagavad Gita about the nature of the soul. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. The non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course of time are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent, the material body, there is no endurance, and of the eternal soul, there is no change. Just taking that in and contemplating upon it. And closing it off with the mantra, Aham Brahmasmi. I am not my body, I am not my mind. I am the spirit soul, an eternal spark of the Supreme Soul. Aham Brahmasmi. Slowly starting to wake up your body, wriggling your fingers and toes, gently rocking your head from side to side. And rolling over to come up and sit, making yourself comfortable for a little kirtan, chanting along as you feel comfortable. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Siddha Swarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Siddha Swarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namine Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasade Gaur Bhakta-vrindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasade Gaur Bhakta-vrindam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Last time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Wonderful. I'll bring our palms together in prayer position. And taking some time here to reflect on our practice And not just today's practice, but all that our yoga practice and the path of yoga has brought to our lives. Just expressing some appreciation for that, some internal prayers. And allowing the feeling of that gratitude to spread throughout every cell in our body. And now bowing our heads to offer our respects to each other. And bowing our heads to offer our respects to the Supreme Soul. Namaste.